Bandwidth allocation. Okay, folks, I wanted to make sure before I made this video I had more concrete proof, more through the grapevine discussion of where it's going, how it's going, and how our internet is going to become federalized. It's already, if you're living in Canada, we already have federalized internet, where there's 2-3 internet companies that rule the stage here, and other people in other countries pay attention to this, okay? Especially if you have 100 internet companies providing internet service in your country. Well, in Canada, it's a little bit different. It's protectionism, and it is federalized. Now, I wanted to make sure this was, I had a good grip on this before I made this video. We have talked about allocation of internet bandwidth for a long time. But now, it's going back as far as 2012. When governments in Canada are working hand in hand with Facebook, YouTube, because there wasn't a lot of social media platforms that were big at the time in 2012. So there were big ones, but there wasn't a lot of them. And everyone flocked to the same platforms. And Canada worked hand in hand with these companies to basically create a layer or a blanket of censorship. Okay, we talked about this. But now it goes as far back as 2012. They were working in accordance with each other to basically silence Canadians. Oh, fair enough. Okay. So it's ironic enough that in 2012, my first channel was terminated from YouTube with no strikes. Back in the day, they just terminated your channel. And it's kind of ironic 2012, right? Where things really started to roll forward. The economic takeover really started to become really prevalent. Artificially low bank rates, artificial, all these bubbles and all this fakeness happening, selection in governments, all this stuff. So you could see, point blank, that things were happening and more people were flocking to social media, right? And back in the day, if you took something, you ate something, or you tried something and it made you ill, or you didn't feel well from it, you'd go to social media and make a complaint. And people will look and observe and see what's going on. Nowadays, you take something and you get ill and sick, you're medical misinformation, right? And now, let me get to my point. Bandwidth allocation. So what's happening is, now, a lot of people, when they're using their internet, they couldn't care less about their upload bandwidth speed. They couldn't care less about their upload bandwidth. They don't care. Because the average person doesn't upload more than 1 or 2 gigabytes per month in photos, videos, or whatever, family stuff, whatever. The average person doesn't upload more than 1 or 2 gigabytes anyway, right? Unlimited download, no problem. You could watch whatever you want to watch, as long as we go forward in time, it's going to be heavily censored and monitored and tricked out. But upload. Now, when I do my show, Mike in the Night, for example, I go over my uploading bandwidth because they're restricting bandwidth upload. Download, whatever you want. But they're starting to restrict upload. But my contract says unlimited upload. Yeah, but they don't expect you to go over X amount of gigabytes. So what happens then? Well, you get charged more. So I'm getting charged more for my bandwidth for upload. Not download, upload. So I'm paying more per gigabyte. And it's getting expensive. This is how they're going to actually remove the rest of the people who aren't selected. There's people that are post-COVID, that came right after COVID. The timing was perfect. Either they came during the trucker convoy, they were reached out to. They were allowed to grow. They were allowed to grow platforms. They were allowed to grow a career off of social media. I see a lot of channels doing tool reviews, hang gliding reviews, food reviews for years that were on social, and then flipped the script just around 2021, 2022. You could see it. It's all over the place. And influencers for YouTube, and then that came out of nowhere, and that weren't warning you about what was happening. And then you have, I don't think those people will be, I think they'll have like some sort of an exemption when it comes to uploading and making videos. But the people such as myself and other more underground types that are out there that never really got a chance to get out there because we're so heavily censored. I have a strong feeling that they're going to make it very hard for us to live stream. They're not going to make it illegal to live stream, but they're going to make it hard where we just can't afford to live stream because the upload and the bandwidth and governments working with internet companies go so deep that you have no idea. And that's why our internet in Canada is federalized. And that's why they will start allocating bandwidth to a T. And they're going to start making sure that we pay through the nose. And they're going to make it in a way where we can't even expense it through a company. So if I own a company like I do, and I want to expense my internet, they're going to set it up in a way where I can't even expense the internet anymore through my company if I'm uploading videos. They're going to consider it a hobby. We talked about this already, right? So anyways, guys, I wanted to put this out there. Bandwidth allocation, 2012. It started in 2012 because they knew they were starting to lose grip. It started in 2012 because they started to realize they knew it was becoming so blatant. The elections, the everything, the fixing of everything, interest rates, economic problems, inflation problems. There were oil shortage, phony oil shortages. They were artificial oil shortages they were creating. All kinds of stuff they were doing. But they were doing it in the favor of themselves. They don't want to better us. Of course not. So let me know what you guys think about bandwidth allocation and how it's going to be harder for us to live stream. Harder for us. We get no funding. We get no promotion from the platforms. We don't get anything from the platforms. Don't put us out there ever. They only put us out there, ironically. YouTube put me out there when the internet went down across Canada. I have a video that blew up. Go on my channel, go to the little magnifying glass, search across my channel, and type in, I am now shadow banned again, internet restored across Canada. Look at it, and then look at the video before where I got 100,000 plus views in a matter of 24 hours and 8,000 subscribers. And look before, and then look at the video after where now I am now shadow banned again because the internet has been restored across Canada. I think it's important that people understand where it's headed and how it's headed, and the federalization of internet is a big deal, and the allocation of bandwidth is major. And I just wanted to make sure I had enough information to give you guys before I actually made a solid concrete video on this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Mike Martins here. I have spoken.